I'm going to go through, so I'll first focus on this, identify the types of questions, claims, ideas, and issues that the field of ethics addresses. So ethics concerns practical reason, and this means reasoning that's aimed at a conclusion concerning what to do or what action to take. Metaphysics will be reasoning aimed at a conclusion as to what exists or what is real. Epistemology may be reasoning aimed at a conclusion concerning what can we know. So ethics ends at a practical conclusion. It asks us, or it gives us a frame of reference for what we can do or what we should do. So I want you to think about your responses to these questions, and we'll discuss them later. So I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions, or you can see these here, and we'll talk about them shortly, because we'll all have our own kind of ideas about what makes an act moral, what makes a person moral, what makes a life moral, and what you bring to the table is important, and it will also help inform you and help you kind of read the other frameworks that we'll be learning about in this course. So when you think of a moral action or behavior that you have witnessed, so think of some moral action or some behavior that you've witnessed sometime in your life, or that you've read about or seen in a film, and think, what was it that made that act or behavior moral? Was it, maybe it was just unmistakably selfless? Did it denote some significant personal sacrifice? Was it a departure from what you would have expected from some person? So when you think of a good or moral person from history or literature, or that you know in person, what is it that makes you think they are good or moral? Did they treat others a certain way? Did they approach the world, or do they approach the world with a certain outlook or posture? Do or did they make you personally feel a certain way when you were with them or heard stories about them? Or is there something else going on? Are acts good because of the consequences they bring about? Are acts intrinsically good, or are some acts intrinsically good, independent of consequences? Are acts good because of their motives, what the actor was trying to do? And then bigger picture, how ought one to live? How does one, or how could one develop a moral character? Is morality rational? Is it essentially rational? Is it not necessarily rational? So these are the types of questions ethics studies, and these are some of the claims and ideas and issues addressed by ethics. So claims like the moral value of an action is determined by its consequences. That's an ethical claim. The moral value of an action is determined by the motive or by the context of the actor's life. Or there are certain postures or outlooks to take toward the world that are moral or immoral.